to the Side Street Grill for this edition of the Eagles Sports Coaches Show. I'd like to remind everyone again, tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the Krager Room here at the Adrian Dorn University Center. Morehead State University, in conjunction with Kentucky Blood Center, will be holding a blood drive. Of course, after the events of this past weekend, blood is needed. Blood platelets are needed after a very scary weekend in East Kentucky. For more information on this blood drive for tomorrow on Tuesday, or rather Wednesday, March 7th, you can call 606-793-4977, 793-4977. And Kevin Fulton, tell us a little bit about how the tennis has been going thus far this year.
Well, I was just talking to Mr. Schultz there, and I told him that I feel like we're ahead of where I thought we would be, but I think we can be a lot better, and trying to find some ways to bring some things out in both teams. Guys came out yesterday and did a fantastic job in practice. The girls, we played unbelievable doubles this past weekend, so we focused on a little bit of things yesterday for singles, and I feel like we're moving in the right direction at this point in time.
So the last couple of weeks since you've been here, what has you been most pleased with?
Oh, doubles. Excuse me. Doubles. We worked tremendously on first volley, closing, and holding serve. And I feel like the last couple matches out that we've made a significant jump in that and really trying to take it to the next level going in the conference here starting next week.
As we've talked about, the schedule is very a difficult schedule for the men's and the women's. What part of the schedule are you into right now?
We're finishing up that what I call feel-good part of the schedule, trying to get a couple wins in here before we go into conference. We hit the ground running next week against Jacksonville State next weekend. We were the only girls team to beat them last year here at home, and the guys team had, if I recall correctly, 4 match points against them in the regular season, and we didn't hold on, and then we were eliminated in the tournament by them. So we're kind of use that match as a scale to see where we are right now.
Now, on the men's side of the Ohio Valley Conference, what teams look good, or what have you heard about the other teams?
Well, I'm a definite stat watcher. I'm probably a OVC stalker as far as I know everybody else's web address by heart. So I think right now, mainly on the guys' side, it's EKU's up there still, Austin Peay. And I put us up there. I'm looking right now out in the cafeteria, and I see 3 of my players out there right now. And I know that all 3 of those guys are very instrumental in us doing very well. We have a great core of guys back from last year. We got a young man, Kevin DeLigny. I think I've said several things about the kid that I really feel like that if our guys, and I'm looking at you right now saying this straight-faced, will learn to fight through adversity and handle it with poise, we can win this conference.
How about on the women's side? What does it look like for the females?
Well, I think it's very interesting because UT Martin is supposedly the hands-down favorite. They won a tight match yesterday against Jacksonville State 4-3. I honestly feel like last year that there are 6 teams that can win it. I think there are 5 other coaches that agree with me. I really like our core of players. We're kind of playing with 6 girls right now. We're still waiting on one girl to try to get her still in the pack, but I like it. I mean, I feel like it's going to be UT Martin, Jack State, EKU, us, Austin Peay, and Murray. And I really feel like if the girls will go up another level, which I know there's 2 more in them, that anything can happen.
I know that the next home match is the 12th against the University of Cumberland on the men's side.
It's a dual match. It's both,
okay.
Girls and guys.
So that's March 12th. So come on out to the Eagle Center and
hopefully
see.
We're outside.
Yeah.
I hope this weather is finally done for all people involved.
Check on the website.
Check on the web.
That might be the best way to put it.
Or go to your smartphone and check your app to see what the weather will be. If it's 50 or above, we will be outside.
I know that you kind of had to cancel the match with Western. You were looking forward to that so much, and then
I'll tell you what, we were looking forward to that match. We canceled it because of weather. Snow didn't come this past Friday, and God bless everyone who's been involved in all the stuff that's happened. we made the call, and I said, you know what, I hope that this is just like Western Kentucky and we cancel this and there's no bad weather. So yeah.
But, you on the men's side, I just pulled up the schedule. Besides your OVC, you go to Louisville in a few weeks.
Looking forward to going back to Louisville. I was spending quite a bit of time there at the beginning of my coaching career, and Coach Karma has his team playing very well. They're top 30 in the country. What it does, it gives our guys a hardened test to see where they can, how they handle that pressure in that situation, and I really look forward to it.
What do I asked Rex about, you said you want to make them go up a notch. How do they do that? What do you want to see out of them? What can make them go up a notch?
I think what you see is their ability in practice to parlay it over into matches, because I think that almost every coach in the coaches college sports, whether it's tennis, basketball, golf, will tell you that a lot of times their players practice better than they play. That comes from one simple thing, being able to let go in their mind that it's a game. We're playing a game. This is stuff that when they were in elementary school and junior high and high school or whatever type of level of education they had, they were playing it because they enjoyed it. And if you can bring that to this stage, because college, the biggest difference between college and in high school and stuff is the pressure. You may have 500 people watching them play high school basketball. They may have 10,000 people watching them play college basketball. Same in tennis. Except you see 5 people watching you in high school and you see 15 people watching you at a tennis match. But really, that is the biggest thing that's going to allow them to make that jump, the ability to understand that I'm playing a game, I'm going to make some mistakes. Now, I want to see what I can do to eliminate those same mistakes from repeating them. And I really feel that we've got 19 athletes who can do it. I tell these guys every single day that I believe in them. And I'll tell the radio crowd and the internet crowd the same thing. I believe in my players, and I feel like if they'll start believing in themselves, that we'll see that big jump.
We were talking about the schedule. You've got some great home matches coming up. And the league home matches, as you said, are very important. That's when we need
There's
the
a few
crowd
of them
out.
I would love to circle to all the people in here, the cafeteria, to come to.
All right.
I definitely want people out here for Eastern Illinois and Southern Illinois, Eversville, Austin P and Murray State. I'll look over here because I'll have to cheat, but I do believe those are the 4 last home matches that we have here. And if you do have some gas in your car, come on over to Richmond when we play them, because that's always a fun battle.
Saturday, March 31st, SIU Edwardsville. Hopefully outside, right?
I hope so. If not, 3 courts makes it a long day.
April 1st, no fooling. Eastern Illinois will come in town.
I hope the joke's on them.
Yep. And then on Tuesday the 3rd, travel over to Richmond at Eastern Kentucky. And then the last 2 regular season matches, Murray coming here on the 13th, Austin P on the 15th, and then the OVC Championships April 20th through the 22nd down in Nashville.
Nashville, first time they've been in Nashville in a few years. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm always a big person in history, so you see that replica of the Parthenon across from Centennial Park. It always kind of brings out the best in you.
Kevin, always a pleasure.
Jason,
we
thank you so
appreciate
much.
it. We'll
Appreciate
talk to you
you.
one more time before.
Hey, I want to do a challenge. Let's see if we can get everybody on this campus out tomorrow for that blood drive. I am absolutely petrified of needles. I don't like sharks. I don't like snakes. I don't like needles. But I will come down here tomorrow and donate blood if I can get a guarantee from every coach on the staff that they will do the same thing. And that's a big step for me.
Wednesday, March 7th. That's tomorrow from 11:30 to 4. I think some of them crawled under the
I think a
table
few
right
people just left the building.
That's a great challenge. So, and what time are you going to be down here?
What time does it start?
11:30.
I'll be down here 11:30, and I'm going to donate no matter what. And
I'll meet you
I'm
down.
telling you,
I'll meet you down
I
here.
am
at 11:30.
absolutely petrified of needles.
I'll meet you down here. I'm on my 3rd gallon, but I'll meet you
Third
down
gallon. I always tell them I'm leaded, not unleaded blood. So,
here. So you hear all that. If you're on the internet today, Coach Fulton has made a challenge to all coaches, all athletic officials.
yes. Let's give blood because this is a worthy cause.
So the Morehead State, in conjunction with the Kentucky Blood Center, having their blood drive tomorrow, which will be Wednesday if you're watching this letter from 11:30 a.m. to 4 o'clock. So
They
he
give
has
sugar
made this
cookies?
challenge.
They do sugar cookies too. I've always heard if you give blood, they give you a
They
cookie.
have Little Debbie cakes.
Little Debbie.
So
Okay.
and you can get some juice, and we'll take care of you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And just for your knowledge, they do have people here just in case you faint. Kevin Fulton, tennis coach here at Morehead State University. We'll come back. We'll talk David Williams and softball when the Eagle Sports Coaches Show continues. Welcome back to the Side Street Grill here at the Adrian Dorn University Center on the Morehead State campus. As we've been reminding everyone right before each coaching segment, the Kentucky Blood Center at Morehead State University will be hosting a blood drive on Wednesday, March 7th from 11:30 to 4 in the Kreger Room of the Adrian Dorn University Center. And, of course, you have to have a picture ID to come down to donate. Kevin Fulton's made the challenge to all MSU coaching staffs to come on down. And if you would happen to need more information, you can call 793-4977, 606-793-4977. David Williams has joined us, Coach. Softball underway, got 13 games under your belt, 5-8 on the season. I know as a coach you'd probably like to be 13-0, but other than that, happy, unhappy, how are you?
Actually, pretty pleasantly pleased at this point. Making progress each weekend. This past weekend we went 3-2. Probably a really, really tough draw for us too, and we really competed. We did a lot of things really well this weekend, and I can see things starting to come together. Everything's starting to kind of fall into place. We just need to get a little more consistency and get the ball rolling a little bit better, but we're definitely headed in the right direction.
13 games in 3 different tournaments, College of Charleston tournament, the Western Kentucky University Hilltopper Spring Classic, and the Buzz Classic. And pretty good teams in those fields saying, it could have been a lot worse. 5-8 is pretty
competition. Ideally, like you said, you want to be undefeated.
Yeah.
And I do expect to win every game, and I want our players to expect to win every game. When you look at that, you see the record, but there's a lot of things you don't see. One of the things you don't see is that we held a lead in 9 of the 13 games. So we've been in every ball game. We've played well. We've done a lot of things good. I mean, we lost a game on Saturday. We out-hit the other team. We did all the things we needed to do. We just couldn't scratch enough runs to get across. So we're definitely doing a lot of the things right, and we just need to let everything fall into place at this point.
4-2 in your last 6 games, as we said, 3-2 over the weekend in the Buzz Classic. What has been the most surprising part of your game thus far?
Pleasant surprise?
Yes.
Okay. Just had to ask that.
I'll clarify. Sorry.
I would say we've had some people step up that probably didn't know they were going to be as big a contributors as they are. Gotten a really nice surprise with Adrena Anderson in the leadoff spot for us. She gets on base. She finds a way to get on. She can steal second. Anna Summers done a really good job in the 2 spot, and we've had a lot of people really step up. Defense has been a really good surprise for us. We've played solid defense, and we've preached that all year. You take out 2 games we've played, our fielding percentage is probably really phenomenal. We've had 2 games that we've just made some mistakes in. But the other 11 games we've played, we've had very minimal mistakes and had quite a few games where we didn't make any errors at all.
Now, the girls may have trouble tomorrow. You play a home game.
That's right. We're not used to that.
Yeah.
We might feel out of sorts a little bit.
You may have to show them where it's at.
Might have to. We'll be lucky if we can even get on the field at this point with all the rain and snow and everything else. So,
But you are scheduled for a doubleheader against Dayton tomorrow at 2 o'clock at University Field, which – if you could get it in, it'd be great, but it'd be great to get that home opener.
We may start a swim team and turn it into a swim meet if we can't get it in tomorrow.
Of course, after that, you turn around and this weekend, the OVC tournament, OVC games begin because you're
Definitely.
at Southeast Missouri State this weekend.
Yeah, it's kind of crept up us on a little bit. The last conference I was in, you probably played 30 games before you played a conference game. With the size of the OVC and the way we do the series and everything's on the weekend, you start fairly early. So we've got 13 games in at this point, and then you jump right into conference play. But everybody's in the same situation. we actually had the opportunity to see Jacksonville State, Tennessee Tech, and UT Martin this weekend. I feel really good about our chances. Those are some good teams, but I feel like everybody's at about the same point right now. Now, the teams we play now may not look the same come late April, early May, but at this point, we're all the same. So I think we're all in the same boat at this point.
You know, we asked Kevin and we asked Rex about the OVC, and you mentioned it right now, the fact that while teams can play good early, it's the teams that play good late that win the championship.
Exactly. You could play somebody first weekend out, and by May they could be the top team in the conference. You just never know. So, or vice versa. So you never know what you're going to get.
Of course, after tomorrow's scheduled home doubleheader, which we hope maybe it'll dry out enough that you can
Up
get
in the air at this point.
You won't be home until Saturday the 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Eastern Illinois will come for a 3-game series, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday, and then on the 21st of March, you host Eastern Kentucky in a doubleheader. So won't be home after tomorrow for a little bit, but when you get home, it's an important 3 games, well, not a 3-game, but I guess a 5-game homestand for you.
Yeah, we kind of got everything bunched up there. I mean, I guess the really good thing is we're away early. We're home late in the year, which would be really great, and it'll be nice to be home and get some home games in, not be on a bus. But, you know, we've got 8 games over spring break that are all conference games. So that's going to be a really crucial week for us. And, you know, we're going to jump right into the heart of that OVC schedule. And we're going to have a lot of OVC games in before we know it.
You mentioned that you saw some of the teams. Who has garnered the attention early in the year?
You know, it's Jacksonville State's also always the heavy favorite, and everybody's going to keep an eye on them. They've had some unfortunate luck at this point, I believe. But, you know, some of the teams that are out there, everybody's kind of even right now, it looks like. If you go and look at the OVC standings, everybody's record's pretty similar. We actually did play Murray State in the Western Kentucky tournament. And that game went back and forth. It took 8 innings to decide a winner. We had an unfortunate call at home plate that ended it for us. Or the game might still be going on right now. I'm not really sure. But, you know, we've seen a couple of the OVC teams now, and I feel really good about our chances. We just need to go out there and take care of ourselves. That's probably the biggest thing.
Now you hope that after getting 13 games in over 3 weekends, that this weather doesn't affect the fact that you get out and play and you don't have a gap of maybe a week that you don't get out and play.
That is definitely a big concern. That's a hard thing to deal with because once you get in a rhythm, you see pitching, you get a lot of at-bats in, your pitchers are seeing hitters. You don't want to break that rhythm. So it's really important that we try to maintain playing games and keep that going.
So once again, check MSUEagles.com see if they will play tomorrow. Date in the doubleheader at University Field at 2 o'clock. If not, the Eagles will return home on the 17th of March, Eastern Illinois, an OVC doubleheader beginning at 1 o'clock, and then on Sunday a single game also at 1 o'clock before the Wednesday, March 21st matchup against Eastern Kentucky. Need a big crowd out to support these young ladies as they improve and get ready for the OVC tournament.
Yep, that's the plan.
David Williams, softball coach at Morehead State University. We'll come back and talk to Jay Sorg about baseball here at MSU when we return on the Eagles. Welcome back to the Side Street Grill. I'm going to sell hearing aids now. That's after our little.
They're not going to be able to hear after that.
Eagles Sports Coaches Show for this week. Talk a little baseball. Jay Sorg has joined us, and Coach, underway as we talked to Coach Williams about softball. You've got 13 games under your belt, almost even at 500, 6-7. So how's the young season been for the Eagles thus far?
Good. We played 13 games, and that's always a challenge at this point in time in the year. But, you know, going into this weekend, we had played the 36th toughest schedule in the nation, and to be right about 500, I think that's not too bad.
You know, last week, Tuesday, I think, as we were heading to Nashville, we got to listen to a little bit of the UK game. Pretty good game against a very tough Kentucky team.
Good Kentucky team who's undefeated still right now. They're 10-0, 11-0, something like that. And the game was a nail-biter through and through, and really 2 great plays by them to throw runners out the plate. twice during the game ends up really being the difference.
Kentucky, as we said, a very tough team. They're trying to improve on their SEC standings, and to go toe-to-toe with an in-state rival has to make your younger players seem pretty confident.
Well, I think our guys are confident. I don't think that's ever a problem for us. But I do think to go there and play very competitive and do some things well. And, I thought every aspect of the game we did nice. That we threw the ball well. We hit the ball well despite only having 2 runs. I thought we hit the ball hard that day and played good defense.
So what have you been most pleased with as we head into the next 13 games?
Well, our depth has shown. We've played 14 different guys have gotten a start from a position player side, and we've had about 12 different pitchers throw. So I'm pleased we've had a chance to really had a spring training for these first 3 weeks, and that's been good. Offensively, usually that third week of the season, the third weekend, we start to break out, and that was so this week, and we're hitting about 319, 320 as a team. That's pretty impressive in an early season.
Chase Greenwell's leading you. He started, I guess, all 13 games. He got 52 at-bats already and hitting .442. And, you spoke at Chase the last time you were here. Getting off to a good start always is a plus if you want to have a solid season.
He's swinging it good, but he's our starting shortstop. And if you look on that column, 1 error for a starting shortstop this point in time in the year. And really it was kind of a fluke play type error where he was kind of blocked by a base runner. So we've been very happy with the way he's gone about his business.
Tell us a little bit about who else is hitting the ball for you.
Well, we got quite a few guys, but if you look down there, Deeds is done what we expect him to do, and I really don't even think he's gotten into his hot streak yet. Pickens has done a nice job in the leadoff spot. Luke Boehner has a lot of RBIs. Eric Boehner has a lot of RBIs. So the guys we've expected to hit are doing a good job for us.
On the mound, any surprises thus far?
I think a couple young guys are playing pretty well. We've been very happy. Aaron Goh has done a nice job as a freshman starter, who's not a surprise, but, you always wonder what's going to happen with a freshman. And we've got a few guys in the bullpen that have been, borderline dominating to this point with Serbo, Duncan, and Cartwright.
Yeah, you've Duncan, as we were talking about, on the watch list, and, he has got a 1.12 ERA as I try to be able to see my stats here. 1-0 record with 2 saves, 5 appearances. So, you've played 13 games and you've worked him in 5 times. We were always worried about how many appearances he might get.
That's right. Well, we're going to find ways to get him into the game. The key is, can we get him into the game with a chance to get the save or the one win he has? We brought him in for a couple innings in a tie ball game, and he picks up a win, striking out 6 of 7 hitters he faces. So that was a dominating appearance for him.
After being home against Jackson State and Buffalo, and actually, not too far down the road at Kentucky. So home for the last week and a half. You go on the road. Tell us a little about UNC Asheville.
Well, they're playing a lot better than they have in the past, and they're 7-5 going into this week. They played a pretty tough schedule also. Their starting pitching has been really good for them. A lot of low ERAs. Opponents' batting average is low. And then they've got a couple guys, in their order that are going to bang the ball pretty good.
Of course, the next home game scheduled is March 13th. Marshall University here at Sunny Island Field at 3 o'clock. And, of course, as we talked about David, the main thing is now you get 13 games under your belt. You don't want the weather to come and break that routine because you've got 13 games in early, which in the past – if I'd say you had 13 games in, this time of March, you'd been real happy.
We would. And but we still have 3 weeks until our first conference game, which is 2 more weekend series, a few midweeks sprinkled in there. And we're getting to a point now where we've done a lot of experimentation. We've had a lot of players in the lineup. You're probably going to start seeing us narrow that down a little bit. And we need those 3 weeks to kind of really get everything in order and play the way we're going to play in conference. And this weekend's a 3-game set as opposed to a 4-game set. It's about as close to a conference weekend as we can get.
And that's, as you mentioned, kind of like a spring training. You let your players, you see where they can play, see maybe some players in different positions in game situations, because you can practice all you want and you can hit ground balls all you want, but until you get in a game situation, you can't get a real feel how this player may play in that position.
That's right. Who's going to play under pressure? Who plays better when the lights turn on? And those are all things we're finding out right now.
What you need to improve on the most as we head into, your remaining time before the Ohio Valley Conference season?
We're one player short in every area, and we've got a player who can fill that void in all those areas, but we need him to step up. I think we need one more hitter in our right-handed lineup, one more hitter in our left-handed lineup, one more long guy out of our pen, and we need one more starter to step up and do what they're capable of doing. But that's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all, and we have people who can fill those roles. It's just a matter of those guys of getting better.
You're coming off a rough year last year, and to get 6 wins at this time. Some of the players who went through that last year, dedicated themselves, and you and your staff have worked real hard. I know you're not happy with a 6-7 record, but having 6 wins at this time is something to build upon.
Yeah, we don't. I'm not putting a lot of stock in wins and losses right now, and I know that's hard for people to understand. But the way we've won some of our games, and then some of these close games that we've lost. I mean, we have a lot of one-run games, and we've shown a lot of tenacity. We've come from behind. We've held on to some leads. So it's really been a lot of really good experience for us.
Sonny Allen Field's always fun to play at, and of course, take a look at some of your scores. A 12-11 game, 18-11 game. We haven't discussed the bat situation, but they have kind of, I don't know if they lessened the bat, but they've changed the style. Has that affected anything being at Sonny Allen Field, because it is a hitter-friendly park?
It is. It has overall. Not as much as this year. It seems like the bats are better. Players are used to them. So I think the offense is up this year as opposed to last year. And, now this weekend we play the winds howling out. It was a typical that Saturday. And that's why I was really happy with a guy like Aaron Go. He gives up some runs, but I tell you, he battled. He comes back, and it didn't affect him. He keeps us in the game, and we're able to come back and win that first game. So, and that's that's the makeup we got to have from our pitchers.
Yeah, you have to have a different style of, I guess not attitude, but a mental capacity pitching at Sonny Allen Field, because it's almost like that Coors Field syndrome is the fact that they will have balls fly out of here and they will be runs scored in Sonny Allen Field.
You're not out of the game. And, that takes there's a mental part of that to an offensive side too, where you look like you're down some runs and you change your approach, but we've got to say, hey, we're in this game. You grind it out AB by AB, and I think that's one of the reasons why we have a little more success here at home, because we understand that.
Well, the Eagles will travel to Asheville, North Carolina for UNC Asheville this weekend, the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th. Marshall will be at home on the 13th. Hopefully weather will be better by then. And, of course, on the 20th, Berea College comes to town. And, of course, between that, you'll be traveling to Miami University, Miami, Ohio University for a 3-game set. Jay?
Yep.
Great start.
Thanks,
I know
Chase.
that we'll hopefully see you with more wins under your belt, and we'll talk a little bit more about the Ohio Valley Conference season next time we see you.
Sounds good.
That's Jay Sorg, and that's going to do it for this edition of the Eagles Sports Coaches Show. For everyone involved, until next Tuesday, I'm Jason Blanton.